You are listening to WTUZ Radio Podcast. This is Rhonda with WTUZ Radio Podcast. Today's podcast, child, real quick. I'm going to make it real quick. Biden, a couple of days ago, he is just staying in the news, y'all. Biden, a couple of days ago, announced that he is going to have the IRS track bank accounts deposits. Child. Shout out to my son Scotty for reminding me, because when it ran across the news feed, I made a note that I needed to do a quick podcast on it. So thank you, son Scotty, for reminding me. Child. So let's do a little technology here, child, and go on and get the little news conference. And then we're going to chop it up on some other commentary on this. So here we go.
The largest area of disagreement is pay-fors. And obviously, if you have a higher top line number, you need more pay-fors. Doesn't require a mathematician for that.
And then on taxes, with the guidelines that the Treasury Department put out today as it relates to the IRS.
Yeah.
What is the argument that you would make that the inflows and outflows of someone's account should be monitored by the IRS? And since the Treasury Department says those who make under $400,000 aren't going to be audited any more than they have been in the past, essentially, are you creating a two-tier audit system? Those who make more than $400,000 and those who make less?
Well, I would say that lower and middle income Americans who are working hard, getting their paychecks, are not typically the issue at hand here. And what the tax compliance report conveyed today is that, or confirmed today, I should say, is that it's past time to reform our broken tax system, that teachers, firefighters, nurses, and other hardworking Americans, they report their income, they pay required taxes. Wealthiest Americans and corporations, because they often operate under different tax systems, it already is a system that is living in two Americas, they're able to pay lower tax rates. That's not fair. That's basically what the president is conveying.
I guess what would you say to the person who does well, pays their taxes, and just doesn't want the government seeing the outflows and inflows? They pay by the book, and they say, hey, I don't think this is right. But
well, again, I think what our focus is on here is ensuring that any American pays the taxes that they are owed. And if they are paying the taxes that they are owed, then they have little to worry about. But there's no question that given that for the last 10 years, the IRS has been repeatedly underfunded, currently has 20,000 fewer staff, including fewer enforcement staff than it did a decade ago, that proposals like the president's proposal to increase a 10% increase in funding for the IRS that would largely be used to strengthen enforcement on wealthy and corporate tax filers and help ensure those at the top pay their fair share is certainly something that I think the vast majority of Americans would feel is fair and effective.
Ciao. All right, family.
The largest area of
Hold on. Let me get up out of here. Ciao. Y'all done seen that tap dancing of a press conference that the press secretary gave. When did she do this? Okay, May 21st. So, okay, this they've been kind of being slick on this for a little minute now. So let's go to some of the articles. So you heard her say, first of all, you heard the spin she was trying to give it. No. This audit is not for the average person that pays their taxes. You know, folks making under $400K a year, la. Shout out to whoever that news reporter was in the little audience that, or press in the audience that said, wait a minute now, hold up. Isn't this a two-tier tax auditing system? So he kind of peeped game. Okay? And she came back with this typical politician answer, up the block, around the corner, which still makes absolutely no sense. All right? So let's go to Forbes. Forbes been knocking it out the park lately. Forbes, I'm going to try to subscribe to you, but I was having difficulty. So let's go to Forbes and see what they're saying about it. Okay, so Forbes got on this on April 28th. Okay, so they were actually on it before that C-SPAN. Under Biden plan, the IRS would know a lot more about your bank account. President Biden announced the American Families Plan today, which is designed to grow the middle class and expand benefits of economic growth to all Americans. The American Families Plan includes a lot to like, no matter what side of the aisle you are on. By any measure, the amount of benefits being proposed is staggering, which begs the question, how will we pay for all of this? By increasing IRS enforcement, see, again, you don't get something for nothing, family. You don't get something for nothing, okay? If you were following our little mini-series about the economy, I go into quite detail. I think it's 7 or 8 episodes that I go into, and I'll make sure in this particular video that I put in the information section of the video where you can get to that series where I break down in detail what the Federal Reserve really is, how money is really circulated and borrowed by the U.S. Treasury and Congress via the Federal Reserve, and what impact that has on you. So again, you don't get something for nothing, right? So by any measure, the amount of benefits being proposed is staggering, which begs the question, how will we pay for all of this? By increasing IRS enforcement, by increasing reporting obligations for financial institutions, and by raising taxes on the wealthy. Each aspect of this plan is worthy of its own column. The column will focus on what a senior administration official called one of the significant steps designed to make sure that taxpayers are paying the taxes they already owe. Increased reporting obligations for financial institutions. Simply put, the American Families Plan calls for banks and other financial institutions to report more than just a taxpayer's interest earned, capital gains, and losses. Banks and other financial institutions would also be required to report aggregate account outflows and inflows. Baby, what? You means to tell me you want to know what I'm putting in, what I'm taking out? Child. In other words, the IRS will know all about all of your bank accounts. Whether you earn income on that account or not, how much is in the account in a given year, and how much was transferred in and out of the account. Well, dang, yeah, that's pretty much everything. Heck, they might as well just ask for the bank statements. I'm just saying. It is unclear how this would work, but what is clear is that this new reporting obligation will create a massive compliance effort on the part of financial institutions and eliminate a massive blind spot that the IRS is currently enduring. Yeah. Let's continue. As things stand today, most taxpayers don't have an obligation to report how much money they have in their bank accounts, how much they deposited, or how much they withdrew. Self-employed taxpayers who, like all Americans, self-report their income and deductions to the IRS on the honor system. They do? Okay. W-2 wage earners, on the other hand, have their amount of wages reported to the IRS on their behalf. The IRS lack of information about the balance of the business bank account, how much was deposited, and how much was withdrawn allows the self-employed taxpayer to lie or make an honest mistake about gross receipts or gross revenue. Now, y'all know this old girl, Biden's press secretary, in the little clip, claims that this new proposal that they're putting together was for wealthy individuals. So help me to understand. Help me to understand. How is self-employed? So in other words, either individual contractors on 1099s or small business owners, how are they big time? See how they be trying to twist and spin stuff? But we're going to continue. So, for some self-employed taxpayers, this temptation is hard to resist. Cheating on taxes by taking outlandish deductions is likely to end up in an IRS audit, but underreporting revenue is harder to track or identify. Now, let me tell y'all something. I just did a podcast on Is Amazon an Oligarchy? And in that particular podcast, we talked about how Amazon is about to reach its $2 trillion mark. We talked about some other stuff as well. So check it out if you have not seen that. Also on that multi-trillion-dollar list, you had Microsoft and Apple. Now, Amazon is known for paying little to no taxes. Did you all hear what I just said? The benchmark that company is about to reach? $2 trillion. That rivals some small nations on their GDP. And they minxed to tell me, they're minxed to tell moi, your concern about getting cheated by small mom and pops and individual entrepreneurs on 1099s reporting their revenue or / income. That's what you're going to try to convince me. But yet trillion-dollar oligarchies pay little to no taxes. But yet this proposal that Biden is putting before to try to get approved is for the benefit of the small folk. Yeah, okay. Okay. By requiring banks to report highest balances and aggregated deposits and withdrawals, the American Family Plan will effectively close off the option of underreporting gross receipts or revenue for businesses and self-employed taxpayers. This is just not accurate. This is not accurate, family. What this is going to do is close off that for self-employed and small businesses, because big businesses are already getting big tax loops and tax credits and pay little to no taxes. Let's continue. It may create problems, however, that should be considered and addressed as this plan works its way through Congress. For example, consider a young couple saving up to buy a home. All savings are put into the Dream Home Savings Account. Yep. Then when it comes time to make the down payment, the $50,000 Dream Home Saving goes into the regular checking account. Yep. Which is then wired to the seller's escrow account. Yep. Buying a home is not a taxable event, at least for federal income tax. Selling one is. Yep. Will the IRS receive information from the financial institution that leads to an audit? Yeah. We wants to know. Conversely, says the young couple receives the down payment as a gift from their parents, which happens quite often in middle class, upper middle class, and up. That happens quite often. If the parent gifted $50,000 to the adult children to make a down payment, that must be reported on a gift tax return, even though no gift tax is due. This type of gift is frequently made, and in my practice as a tax controversy lawyer, rarely reported as it should be. The increased financial reporting obligation would likely increase compliance with gift tax reporting rules. If the proposal to require financial institutions to increase reporting to include account balances, I'm still tripping. Account balances, inflow and outflows, so meaning what's deposited in your account and what you take out of your account, is passed, there is no question it will increase taxes collected. Both self-reporting and audit outcomes will likely improve. However, defending against an IRS exam is stressful and can be costly. Exactly. The Biden administration and Congress should work together to ensure that taxpayers who simply move funds between accounts are not audited solely as a result of the proposed increased financial reporting obligations for financial institutions. How about we back this up and say, basically, this is a bunch of bull crap? Because really, if they wanted to do this honestly and fairly, they would base it on income amounts. Okay? And if you truly wanted to do it fairly, this should not even be a target for self-employed folk, contractors, 1099, which that's still self-employed, and small businesses. This should be targeted to businesses making 1 million plus and over. So this is nothing, in my opinion, but another grab in the little guy's pocket and to straight up be in your business. Okay? Now, anybody that knows me knows I am not a political party person. I believe the whole political system is riddled with fraud. I believe they are two heads of the same bird. It is what it is. But with that said, and one plays good cop, one plays bad cop. In this particular instance, it's truly the Democratic Party, since Biden has been swept into office. They have really gone on a tirade on individual rights. Okay. Last week, he brought up this proposal for folks getting a jab and how he wants to make it mandatory pretty much across the board. And now this, which I didn't realize, this was back in the springtime, them wanting to literally track our bank accounts. There's no way to get around this, family. Literally to track your bank account. Okay? So just real quick, let's just take a look at what some of the other folks are saying, some of the little tweets. So y'all, you know, those that know Candace Owens, she be off the chain. Not that I support her. Some of the stuff I do agree with what she's saying. Some of the stuff I think is for publicity. And some of the stuff I'm like, nah, Candace gonna have several seats. But anyhow, she goes, the Biden administration is attempting to empower the IRS to monitor every single withdrawal deposits and transactions you make from your personal bank accounts, PayPal, Venmo, etc. You know, we talked about that separately. He wants to force you about the jab. Everything they lied and said. Now, child, clutching my pearls. In Trump card supporters' defense, gotta call it the way it is. Everything they lied and said Trump was, Biden is. Child. That's Candace. But child, in her little defense on that, I'm side-eyeing it. So here's another tweet. Biden wants to track every deposit you make in a bank account, no matter how small, so he can tax every penny. This person says communism, Marxism, Biden must go. This person saying, why are they snooping on an average Joe over a $600 payment? Child, 600 ducats? 600 ducats? Are you kidding me? 600 ducats? That's a plane ticket that somebody may send you some scratch for to pay for. $600? That ain't nothing. Fury as Biden tries to let IRS snoop on your bank account. Venmo, PayPal, and crypto deals and plans that could violate the Fourth Amendment. So pay attention, family. Sorry, y'all. I do not have the, I don't want to open up Twitter. So pay attention. A lot of these things that are being proposed are hitting on the so-called, quote, rights and privileges. This person says, yikes, Americans will not tolerate the federal government / IRS snooping on all bank account transactions. So why is Congress pushing this massive new invasion of privacy? Child. All right, so family, pay attention to what is going on. They are pushing the envelope further and further to not only get all up in your business, but pretty much make a decision for you, lifetime decisions for you, like you are children. As you continue to have to work and support your family and pay back this massive debt that can never be paid back that they created. So this is Rhonda with WTUZ Radio Podcast. I wish everyone well on this Tuesday. Peace and love, family.